Hi everybody. So today is a big day. It's the last spelling test out of Spellbound today. So let's get started with it. It's the summer one and it's going to be a hot day today, so it's very appropriate. I know some of you are already talking about going off swimming in lakes and at the seaside, so perfect time for this spelling test. Okay, so it's Unit 28. You need to find yourself the right space in the back of the book. Pause it when you need to. Last spelling test, off we go. Number 1, beach, beach. Number 2, boat, boat. Number 3, cave, cave. Number 4, bucket, bucket. Number 5, picnic, picnic. Number 6, hard, lifeguard, lifeguard. So that's a compound word all together. Silent letter in there to be careful with. And we've got some more compound words coming. Number 7, suntan, suntan. And number 8, lighthouse, lighthouse. Number 9, swimsuit, swimsuit. Number 10, sunglasses, sunglasses. Number 11, holidays, holidays. Not too far now, holidays. Number 12, towel, towel. Number 13, spade, spade. Number 14, tide, tide. So remember that's the kind of tide which means whether the height of the water level at the seaside changes. And 2 compound words to finish. Number 15, seaside, seaside. And number 16, seagull, the bird, the seagull. Okay, good. Okay, so the next thing we're just going to have a very quick look at is your maths for today. So you have got a page from Intermath with some photographs, which I've just got here. I've got a photo of the photographs. And you've got some maths words in the middle. What have you got? Money, fractions, length, time, add, subtract, etc., etc. And those words are there just to give you some ideas of words that you might think about or use in your problems, okay? Problems in that what you're going to do is write some word problems, okay, about those photographs. So all week in maths, actually that's not true, Wednesday and Thursday in maths, we've been looking at using words to create questions, mathematical questions, maths questions. And they've been using words. They haven't just been sums like 3 add 4 or 29 take away 17. They've been written as words, and you've got to then think, okay, what calculation do I need to do to solve this problem? And a step further, you've actually this week been inventing the questions, okay? So it's more about inventing the questions. So the first picture you've got is a picture of a packet of batteries, if I can see clearly here. And you've got 8 batteries in the packet and they cost €3.29 a packet. So the idea is, can you write a question, a mathematical question, so it's got to deal with numbers, based on that photograph? Yeah, so what could you do? Let's think. Well, we know that that's the price for 1 packet of batteries. So it could be, I don't know, Alex goes to buy 5 packets of batteries. How much does it cost? That could be a question. Or you could link it to how many batteries there would be. So I don't want to give you too many ideas, but you only need to write 1 question. If you want to write more, then you can write more. But one question about the batteries would be great. Then what have you got? You've got a picture of like a rope, a roped net, a climbing net, okay, made out of ropes. And you've got to write a maths question about it. Now, to me, the most obvious thing to me, but maybe different for you, would be maybe how many squares there are in that network. But I'm sure you can think of other maths questions that are inspired to you by that picture. Could be, it takes Irati 10 seconds to climb up the net and 7 seconds to climb back down. How long does it take Irati to climb up and down twice, for example? That's got nothing to do with the squares. You could have a much better, different idea inspired by that photograph. Okay, it just needs the photograph is there to give you an idea. What else have you got? You've got some clocks. Now, that's quite tricky. It's a sequence of clocks, which we sometimes see at airports or in other office buildings, maybe. And it tells us what the time is at different places in the world, because we know that because of the way the world travels around the sun and spins on its axis, more to the point, that it's not the same time in Sydney, Australia, as it is here in Italy right now. Okay, so on those photographs you can see when it's 10 past 10 in New York, it's 10 past 3 in London, it's 10 past 4 in Paris, and 10 past 11 in Tokyo in Japan. So you've got those four clocks to inspire you. So it's likely to be a question about time, I would imagine, okay? Maybe inspired by those particular times on those clocks, or maybe another question about time that you want to invent, okay? I'm not going to say any more about that. I want to see what you come up with. And the last photograph is my favourite because it's the window of a cake shop, or maybe the shelves in a cake shop, and there are plates and plates of all these muffins and buns which look delicious. It's all sorts of things that you could ask, okay? You might want to make it clear by trying to indicate which tray of cakes you're talking about. I'm just going to make up one now, see what you think. This might give you an idea. The very top left tray has got a tray like this, and it's got 4 cakes in the front row, then another 4 cakes, then another 4 cakes, and 2 here. Actually, let's just say that the tray stops there. Okay, and it appears that there are 2 missing there. Okay, so what I could do, for instance, is call this tray number 1. Tray number 1, how many cakes would there be if the tray was full? Okay, because that's confusing, but let's imagine that's the full tray. It does look like there are 2 missing. So let's imagine that they've been there in the first place. That could be a number-based, a mathematical question. Yeah, in tray 1, how many cakes were there when it was full? If I had 3 times as many cakes as I have on tray 1, how many would I have? Ooh, what fraction of tray 1's cakes appear to be missing? How many appear to be missing as a fraction? Hang on, if it's a fraction, it's going to have that line, isn't it, with a numerator and a denominator. So many out of so many. And do you remember the denominator is the full number when everything's there? And the numerator, the top number, is how many we're referring to. So how many appear to be missing? Clearly 2. 2 out of how many would there have been when it was complete? So when it was complete, I would have had 4 add 4 add 4 add 4 when it was full, yeah? Or 4 times 4. So 2 out of 16 appear to be missing. Okay, 2 out of the full 16, 2/16. I'm quite pleased with that question, but it's quite a tricky one. So don't feel you have to ask fraction questions, but some of you could be challenged by that. Okay, so you are the maths question writer. I've already read some wonderful questions about brown bears and polar bears and know that you are already good at it, many of you. So can you write me a question about the cakes, the times, what else was there? The batteries, and there was another one. Gosh, I've got a memory like a sieve. Can't even remember what was the other one. Can't remember. Okay. And then discovery of the world is, I don't think there's much writing with discovery of the world. If I remember rightly, your job today is to ask permission to go outside and have a look at some real flowers and see if you can decide whether the flower you're looking at is an insect pollinated flower or a wind pollinating flower. Okay, you know the clues. It's likely, very likely, that you will find more wind pollinated flowers than you... I'll start that sentence again. It is very likely that you will find many more insect pollinated flowers than wind pollinated flowers, okay? Because in the world there are a lot more insect pollinated ones. But if you look closely, you might well be surprised to find some wind pollinating flowers in your garden or around. Okay, so go out there, see what you can find, and I'd love it if you can just send me something to show me what you've found. Maybe an example of both, or a couple of insect pollinated ones if you can't find any wind pollinated ones. It might be a picture that you've drawn, it might be the name of the flower, you find out what it's called, it might be a photograph. Okay, if you can, let me know what you found. Okay, my L1 English children, I will see you at 12:30. Okay, and I think, now I don't want anybody crying or getting upset. I think this might be our last video. I really hope so. Not because I haven't enjoyed doing them and I don't like speaking to you, but because if it's our last video, it really does mean that in September we'll be back at school and back to normal. Okay, so next week we've still got a school week, but we're going to do something different. I told you about this in the meetings. Okay, we're going to be doing something different each day, which will not require you having to look at a video in the morning to explain anything. Okay, so I think this is our last one. Hopefully our last one ever. Certainly our last one for this term. Okay, so yeah, I'm sure loads of you are crying, saying, oh no, how terrible. Luca, wipe that grin off your face. Okay, I'm only joking. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of relieved because it will be lovely to go back to normal in September. Good. So have a good day. I'll see L1 people later, and have a good weekend as well. Bye-bye.